So, I don't know. I just keep thinking lately a lot about growing up in the early 2000s and late 90s and how different life felt. And how, I mean, when you think about it, when the Mayan calendar suggested that there was going to be some big turning point for humanity in like 2012, I think that we did it. And I think it has to do a lot with this absolutely bizarre addiction to technology that we are all suffering from. So, what I've decided to do is I've deleted all social media apps from my phone except for YouTube. And my goal with this, well, and Goodreads, but let's be real, Goodreads is so clunky. Is it even social? It's just looking at, it's like stalking people reading. I could go out in public and do that too if I wanted to, but I would probably get some funny looks. But anyway, so I kept YouTube and I kept Goodreads. That's it. And what I've decided is I'm not completely quitting social media, because that is how I keep in contact with quite a few of my friends, because I do have some friends that live in different states and in different countries even. So, I mean, I still want it. However, I have decided, you know how like us millennials, we talk about how some things are just, hi Oreo. How some things are just like a big computer purchase and some things are like a phone purchase. I've decided that social media are big computer events. So that's what I'm doing. And so then what I'm going to do otherwise is just use my phone for like, I'll keep like my, obviously texting, and I'm going to do email. And honestly, who wants to look at email? But I'm keeping it on there because I have to. And then like my shopping apps and Libby. And that's it. Oreo, honey, you're in the frame. Anyway, so I guess part of my goal of this has nothing to do with reading. It's just to kind of free up some of my time. But also, before I go to bed, instead of scrolling on my phone, I decided I'm always going to have a nonfiction book on my Kindle, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So like I'm always going to have like a physical book going, and then I'm always going to have like my little bedtime story of nonfiction, if that makes sense. So yeah, basically what I was planning on doing was to do this and then kind of check in. Everything has been gone off my phone for a week, and I haven't even logged into anything on the big computer yet. And granted, part of that is because like my big computer sucks and I need to get it taken in to get fixed. And I was like determined that next weekend was going to be the weekend I get it in, and it's functioning the best that it has in like a month. But I seriously haven't, like there's been a couple times where I've thought, ooh, I should post this. But then I was like, oh, I don't have it on my phone. I can do it later. And then I was like, I didn't do it later. So it must not be worthwhile. I also feel like social media in general has gone to the space where like nothing, a lot of it's not even worth looking at. Like my updates from like my friends and stuff. Yeah. But there's so much slop in between. Like stuff that's like supposed to be funny that's not even actually funny. It's just at best mildly amusing. And we just look at mildly amusing things for like hours when there's so many better amusing things or interesting things that we could be looking at. So there's that. But then there's like, a lot of it's just like echo chamber affirmations. Like we follow a bunch of people that we already agree with, and then we all talk about how we agree with the same things and we have the same affirmations. And it's just like, what is the point? Like, it doesn't get anything done. We're just gonna collectively agree on some things and shake our fists in the sky about things. I don't know. It just doesn't feel worth it anymore. So that's what I did. How much progress have I made in my before bed book? Not a ton, because lately this month is so busy that I haven't been reading as much before bed. I'm also painting the shit out of my basement right now, because I already painted my basement and then it got destroyed by waterproofers. But now I needed to finish up like the bathroom and then a few other key things before I get floor put in. So I've been doing that. But yeah, that's how it's going so far. Everything is primed. This is Kill's Restoration Primer. That's what I had to do in my entire basement initially because my whole floor looked like this, but worse. So I've not primed this yet, just some of the top part of the wall. I don't even know if you can see where that ends. And then this goes all the way around here. I also did the posts in the center because they were initially this gray color that you could see at the top there. I'm not gonna bother with that. I would like film myself doing these things, but there's never a good spot. I'm covered in paint, then I have to touch the camera. Well, my hands get paint on them anyway. I'm actually a decently clean painter. So far. We'll see what today brings. So, I don't know. And then there's this awkward angles. I look horrid. So, you guys are just gonna get little bits here and there. But yeah, I'm gonna paint some more. I gotta put some paint tape down on the nasty bathroom floor, and then I get to go at it.
What you doing, cutie? Oh. What is it?
Ooh!
Oh, my rug.
When you're trying to have a cutesy and demure little walk in the park, ripped out your favorite willow tree. So now there's only stream, but no willow. She's gone. So I ordered a new trash can because I don't like mine, and I was excited that it was going to be delivered the same day. I'm gonna make some potato soup, y'all. Actually, it's cream of potato and cheddar soup, so it's even better. I have been going on social media on the big computer literally only 2 times a week. And so, yeah, apparently I don't miss social media that much. How is my reading going, might you ask? Well, I did tell you I had a nonfiction that's kind of personal on my Kindle. Am I making much progress on that? No, because this month has been so chaotic that when I get home, I just want to go to sleep. Or I just need to do something that's more mindless than that. So, yeah, that's how that's been going. As far as my physical book, well, I also am reading a nonfiction physically, Primal Intelligence, and it's about like the ways that people are intelligent that we underestimate and that AI can never replicate. And it's interesting, however, because everything has been so busy this month, hi, Sunny. I am a mood reader, and I fall in and out of my reading moods very quickly. So here's the thing. Because it's taken me so long to get through Primal Intelligence, I'm not in the mood to read it anymore. I'm in the mood for fantasy, but I also kind of want to write something, but I don't want to edit at all. So I want to write something new, even though I should be editing. But, you know, I notoriously hate editing. So basically, is this impacting my reading? I don't know. I think that this month has been too chaotic for me to really tell if doing this for Chaostober has like made me read more or less, because I would have been reading less anyway. But you know how it is with me. Lydia Foxglove at the Cozy Creative. Every single time that I'm coming to a conclusion about something, she posts about it. It's magical. And she's also talking about this and how now we're always craving stimulation because we have it constantly available to us. I'm thinking, kind of like what she's saying in her video, is I need to do some things that are kind of mindless and let myself be a little bit more bored, like coloring or like a puzzle or something. Now that my basement's like almost done, with floor and everything, I actually might be able to set up a cute little table and find a puzzle somewhere to do. I don't know. We're gonna find out. This is such a strong onion. Oh my god. Okay. I chopped it. It's so bad. You chewing my ear?
Beautiful girl. Oh, she's so pretty. This is a beautiful girl. Look at my handsome boy. Oh, so majestic.
I probably am not looking super great right now. You know, I got my second cat Oreo 6 months ago. They didn't see any fleas or worm evidence, but they gave us a deworming, like the Revolution Plus, to put on her just to be safe and to kill off any nastiness that might still be on her from life in the streets. No sign of worms, at least no symptoms that couldn't have been attributed to her upper respiratory issues, which, yeah, she vomited a worm last night. Right before I went to bed, she vomited a worm, and it was moving, and it's one of the nastiest things I've ever seen in my life, and I am, like, so concerned that my other cat, because this is apparently very contagious, I'm so concerned that my other cat has it. I'm worried that she has had this probably the entire time that I've had her, because I got her 6 months ago. I'm freaking out, and so I'm gonna try to get her into the vet today. I had a personal day today anyway, because I have, once again, people coming in to work on different things in my house. So, my dad is going to come and clutch. He's going to be here while some of that gets done. And then I'm going to take Oreo, hopefully, to the vet today. I really want her to go in today. This month, though, kind of a weird experience at the vet. I showed them the picture of the worm, and the first thing that she says is, "I don't think that's a worm." Yes, it is. And I said, "It was moving," and they're like, "Oh, well then it's a worm." And I'm like, what are you talking about? First of all, you could totally vomit up a dead parasite, in which case it wouldn't be moving, but it's still like a really big issue. But like, that's like, I show you a picture of a tree, and you say, "That's not a tree." Like, it's clearly a picture of a worm. There's nothing unworm-like about it. Like, I don't know about the vet that I've been taking her to. I think I need to request the specific guy that I already know that I like, because some of these other people, like, I don't know. I really think that she's had this the whole time. So, that's how the worm situation's going. Here's how everything else is going. We've hit the end of October. Today is Halloween. It is October 31st. I have been on social media maybe 4 times the entire month. Maybe. I think it's more like 3.
and I'm never on it for very long on the big computer, it has become an almost non-existent thing. And I think it's because I don't miss it that much. Like, I feel like the content has been a lot of nothing. And so what I do when I do log in, I just check on specific people that I keep in touch with online for the most part, and then that's about it. Like, I really don't miss it. And the whole point of doing this is my Chaostober challenge is I wanted to see how this impacted my writing. So I'm now going to reflect on how that went, or not my writing, my reading, but it ended up affecting both. So I started the month reading a physical book that was nonfiction. I made it to page 50 out of like 270 something. And then I was reading a Kindle book, another very short nonfiction. This was like 200 pages. I'm like 30% the way in. I have not read much at all this month, despite not using social media. And I think it's just because there's so much stuff going on. I've had so many things going on in my house. Even the things that I've had people come in here to do, there was a lot of prep that I had to put into it. So there's that, the cats, mine and my husband's health. And then there's been, I don't know, just some different things like with work and whatnot. It's just been a really busy month. And I'm very tired, honestly. So I haven't read that much. I also feel like I'm in this feeling like I'm not always in the mood for what I'm reading. I think that reading some nonfiction before bed is kind of the way for me, to not be like scrolling. Well, I mean, I can if I wanted to anyway, but it's a better alternative for me. It's just, I'm so tired every night that I just don't read when I go to bed. I lay down and I pass out, so. But the other thing that's happened, like I've kind of alluded to, I started doing like a puzzle in my basement because I feel like there's times where I don't even need to be reading or doing anything important. Like there's times I just need to do something out of boredom. Just something to pass the time. And now that social media is kind of out of my life, it feels like I have unlocked so much time, even when I'm busy, to do other things that I wasn't doing before. Things that aren't productive, because maybe not every waking moment needs to be productive. The other thing that I did, I should have been good and edited my science fiction. We all know I have a weird relationship with editing, and I need to print it. I think that that's my next step. I really need to print the thing, because part of the reason I hate editing is because I hate looking at a screen for that long. I need to print the thing, and I just haven't had the time or the energy or the means to do that. In the meantime, I've had this very vague idea of like a fantasy story or series. I don't even know what it's going to be yet. Totally floating in my head. I think I've been telling myself I can't start this until I finish some things, like finish editing stuff. And I decided I don't care anymore about the timing. Like, I make the rules because I don't have a publisher. So I'm going to do what I want. And it's going to time out the way that it times out. So I do want it to be more of a high fantasy setting, kind of. So what I've done is I've kind of chosen a historical kind of period to kind of research, and I watched like documentaries on it and stuff, and I took notes like the little nerd that I am. I spent time doing that, and I made a massive outline. It's definitely a full novel. There's potential for sequels. I just don't know if I'm a series girl though. I think I'm a cycle girl, because that's what I've done with my sci-fi is I don't write series, I write cycles. It's in the same world but not the same characters and stuff like that. So I just don't know yet, but I definitely have a novel out of it. So we'll see where it goes. When I first decided to film Chaostober, I figured that I could just film like minor chaos that happens along the way to be silly, but like it turns out there's so much chaos, like actual genuine chaos, that I couldn't film very much. But this is what I did. This is a lifestyle change that I've made. Social media for me is now a big computer activity, and we're working on healing my cat's worms. So, yay. I'm interested to see what other people did for Chaostober. I know that Danielle was going to do her walking one where she could only read while walking. I'm so excited to see how that turned out because, like, I could never. I get too seasick. But I think that's such a cool challenge. I'm interested in seeing what other people have done. I hope that you guys are doing well. I'm living life on the edge. I have no idea when to expect another video from me. I'm trying. I really always want to do within 2 weeks, but it's been 3 lately. It is what it is. So regardless of what I'm talking about, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Why'd I do that? I wanted to like wave, but I wanted a peace sign. Bye.